Well, it's break barrel time again, and on a budget, but with a difference. Hello and welcome to AAR on Air. It's Uzi time! But no, it's not a BB spitting CO2 version. This time it is the guys and girls at Umarex putting together a break-actioned rifled barrel pellet firing replica that holds the promise of better accuracy, more so than the BB version. Naturally, I will be testing that theory out a little later on. But the first thing to do is take a look at this new offering from Umarex. Oh, and a bit of a history lesson, just because. The Uzi was originally designed by Major Uziel Gal, nicknamed Uzi, in the late 1940s and worked upon until it was finished and ready in 1950. From this point, it was finally introduced to the Israeli Defense Forces in 1954. An interesting point here is that from 1960 till the late 80s, more Uzis were sold to more military and security markets than any other submachine gun ever made. There has been an estimated 10 million plus made to date. The original fired its 25-round 9mm magazine at a rate of 600 rounds a minute, with velocities of 1,300 feet per second and an effective range of 200 metres. It has become one of the most iconic guns of all time and has seen countless conflicts and is still in use and production today. And of course, it's one of Hollywood's biggest stars of the big screen, alongside the likes of the AK-47 and of course the Glock pistol. As always, there is so much more that could be said about this machine pistol that I could dedicate a whole programme to its history, and there wouldn't be any time for the actual review. So, let's take a closer look at this mini Uzi from Umarex, shall we? It is quite a heavyweight at 2.3 kilograms or 5 pounds 1.5 ounces. It is 49.5 centimetres or around 19.5 inches long with the folding stock closed, and 69.5 centimetres or around 27.25 inches long with the stock open, and it's made of high quality polymers and metal, which gives it a feel of not only weight but attention to the finish. Naturally, it is all black, and Umarex have tried hard to replicate the original and yet convert this to a break action for single shot accuracy. Most of the external features are evident on this gun, some of which are simply for authenticity and not fully functional. But the whole gun is better for including them anyway. From the front, there is that addition of mock silencer, which in this case has been included for more leverage on the break action. This allows the loading of the 4.5mm or 177 cal pellet to be inserted directly into the rifle barrel. The familiar square body has a fixed front sight, which mates up with an adjustable rear and choice of flips on the back. At this point, I should highlight the Picatinny rail that is included in the box, along with the required screws that will allow you to fit an alternative sighting aid of your choice. I think a red dot would be the best option for looks and for the ability to use it in pistol or rifle mode. To fit this rail, you will need to remove the faux cocking lever. But as this is for show and doesn't actually cock the gun, I think the ability to fit a rail is probably far more important. And when fitted, it really doesn't look out of place. The rear stock is on a cam system, so it is simply a case of using a little pressure to swing the stock out, and it'll lock into place and then push back for use in pistol mode. It is metal and of course sympathetic to the original design. You do have to take your hat off to Umarex for their attention to detail. One thing to point out here is that you will need the stock out of the way of the brake action, because when it's in pistol mode, if the stock is in place, it makes it really rather difficult to cock the gun. Easy. Once cocked and loaded, the trigger, which is a two-stage item, has a light and fairly short first stage and a longer second stage that does require a bit of pressure. There is the safety on the left-hand side of the magazine holding grip that locks the trigger completely. And it's a simple slide forward for safe and back for fire. The grip is as per the original and is a straight up and down design. It has the faux magazine out the bottom of the grip and the faux magazine release incorporated into the grip itself. Naturally, this version has been designed more as an accuracy replica with single shot pellet firing through that rifle barrel and the ability to add additional sighting aid, rather than an out-and-out fast-fire BB smoothbore barrel scattergun approach. Let's take a look at the power output, shall we? Well, using 8.44 grain pellets, it saw 489 feet per second, which equates to 4.48 foot-pounds or 6.08 joules. Then, with the Barracuda greens on board, weighing 6.64 grains, it saw a maximum of 502 feet per second, which is 3.72 foot-pounds or 5.04 joules. Both of these sets of figures are pretty healthy. And with that information and a red dot on board, time to get this out on the range and see if that rifle barrel works and makes this really nice little replica as accurate as I hope. The IWI Mini Uzi from Umarex. Dropped on a red dot just so I can see a lot better. We're out at 10 metres. We're going to shoot sort of semi-resting but with the stock out. It's actually really good fun. I've had a couple of rounds just to try and zero the red dot in, and it's really good fun. It's quite heavy on the trigger, so you will need to get used to that. But let's have a go. I think I took about 4 shots to try and zero the red dot, so I haven't gone crazy with it. And at the end of the day, this isn't a match grade gun. This is a fun gun, a fun plinker gun really, but, which I'll tell you in a second, it's actually pretty accurate, and before long you kind of forget that you're shooting a replica of an Uzi. You just sort of enjoy the experience of shooting the gun. And it really isn't bad. There's a fair bit of power in it, there's enough. At the end of the day, of course, you have got the ability to shoot it as a pistol, not that I'm going to try because I won't hit anything, but it has that ability if you feel brave enough. It's actually doing not bad at all. I'm using standard 8.44 grain pellets. It does shoot the alloys, so no problem there if you want to shoot those. Yeah, quite decent result. I'm quite enjoying it. I put the rail on the top, so I've taken off the cocking lever, and it's just a couple of, I think it's 4mm hex keys, Allen keys, whatever you want to call them, on the top. Drop those in to replace the cocking lever on the top. I've dropped on a Vector optic scope, it's actually quite a nice one. And you're away. Yeah. Not a bad little piece of kit at all, and pretty accurate. Well, personally, I don't think that's bad at all. I'm more than capable of a spot of target work and plinking without the need for external power sources or those potentially ricocheting steel BBs going off all over the place. It will certainly take a fair bit more skill to use this pistol style with that weight, and if it's accuracy you're looking for, then I would swing that stock out and use it more as a rifle. But you've got the choices, which is always nice. For around or less than £159 UK, you can have a really high quality replica in this new mini Uzi and the ability to hit more things accurately. No, it's not a pest control item before anybody asks. And of course, please don't feel the urge or need to carry this around in the streets. The consequences don't bear thinking about. It's also come to my attention that I haven't actually reviewed the Umarex CO2 version of the Mini Uzi. And if you guys want to see a full review on that, then just let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can fit it in. As usual, I've enjoyed this one and hopefully you have too. If you have, please give us the old thumbs up, subscribe, feel free to share, and don't forget to click the alarm bell. Join in with the chats and forums and take a look at the AAR website. A big thank you to the guys at Vector Air as always, and finally the biggest thanks goes out to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. Well, that's it. Stay safe and shoot safe, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Bye for now.